Hey everyone, welcome to the second screening, where I watch a movie for a second time and see if my sentiments are the same, better, or worse than the first time I watched it. Today, let's take a look at The Flash, the movie that James Gunn praised prior to screening as one of the greatest superhero films ever made.
Yes.
Ironically, it is now deemed as the biggest superhero film flop in history, which leaves little to no wonder why it was released on digital platforms just a month after showing in the silver screen. And let's not forget about the various activities of Ezra Miller.
Why did you say that name?
That spread like wildfire, that I dare say is the epitome of Hollywood stigma and privilege that super speed just simply can't run away from. With a minimum production budget of $200 million, not including marketing, and a frowned-upon celebrity to say the least, playing as the protagonist of the film, the probability of commercial success in the box office was never in its favor.
You're goddamn right.
Now that it is available on digital platforms so soon after screening in theaters, I decided to watch it again to see if my thoughts have changed for the better, worse, or remains the same. So what does it do best? Funny enough, the strengths of The Flash do not come from the titular hero himself, but from the various supporting characters.
Shut up.
Ben Affleck's Batman action sequences and choreography remain great. I wish he had more time in the spotlight one last time, but I suppose this is the best sound off we can get.
Not this time. Maybe some other time.
The same can be said with Michael Keaton in the Siberian hideout, as he takes down infantry with his batarangs and grappling hook. Though I do find them to be underutilized in the battle against Zod by being over-reliant on his gadgets. Last but not least is the surprise performance of Sasha Cale as Supergirl. Admittedly, prior to watching this the first time, my initial impression was that she was a placeholder for the trite identity politics checklist. But I am glad to be proven wrong, as her work here is fantastic and deserves another chance. Perhaps in another cameo in Gunn's reboot? Let's throw one more bone before we head to the bad, where Barry spends one last moment with his mother before he reverses his actions. It is probably the most emotional moment in the film that resonated with the audience to value relationships with our loved ones, or perhaps even realizing it only when they are gone. And unfortunately, this is where the positive portions of The Flash ends.
Shut up.
Now let's address the elephant in the room, Ezra Miller.
AKA the Bengal Ghouls, the Mad Goose Wizard.
It goes without saying that the biggest hurdle of this film is no doubt its protagonist, Barry Allen, aka Ezra Miller. While I understand the virtue of separating the personal life of the actor from that of his work, I must admit it is very difficult to do so in this case, given the severity of his misdeeds.
Has the gravity of this not sunk in for you?
It is such a huge bottleneck that given how publicly exposed his actions were, I do not doubt that its impact on the Flash's performance in the box office was highly underestimated by Warner Brothers. His actions were so severe to the point that us common folk have had enough of these people who think that they are above everyone else, and I, for one, am proud to be a part of those who stand against this practice.
You're goddamn right.
I mean, honestly, in the show, it is him of all people who tells us how to raise children, drug consumption moderation, and mental health. The hypocrisy is off the charts.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
With my personal biases made transparent, how does Barry Allen as a character hold up in the show, you ask?
No. Wait.
Times myself. You can't just.
Shut up!
Obnoxious, irritating, and immature as ever. But is anyone really surprised at this point? And that is not even the biggest culprit of all.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because, Barry, if you were to go into the past, any interaction you had with your parents or yourself, you step on the wrong blade of grass, you have no idea what the consequences to that could be.
In those words by Bruce Wayne alone, it already covers the entire premise of the show, which I realized after watching this a second time. diminishes the relevancy of everything that transpires after, as Barry seemingly knows the consequences should he return back in time and change the outcome, but chooses to do so anyway.
Why? 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 Why?
Making the rest of the film with Barry simply coping and suffering from the result of his actions, which I find very lacking as a central plot. Instead of showcasing an old villain who looks forced to be in the movie, they could have instead used another major villain like Reverse Flash to disrupt the timeline and give more prime time to the supporting cast, while also not disrespecting the actors of the old shows. Yes, I still find the nostalgia bait to be very distasteful, rather than a positive means of lifting this terrible show, that the time could have instead been used to better conclude Snyder's iteration of Wonder Woman and Batman. In conclusion, my perception of The Flash is worse watching it the second time, and if I were to give it a score, it would be down to 3 or 4 out of 10, from 5 out of 10 the first time I've seen it. Ezra Miller is ironically the biggest setback of this film, alongside the terrible writing and the underutilization of its strong characters. What do you guys think? Has your perception of The Flash changed for the better or worse, or has it remained the same? Sound off in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and do what every YouTuber asks you to do, and I will see you next time.